Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Piyush Mahapatra. I'm a participant of the 41st batch of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management of the Institute of Rural Management Anand, and I shall be the Master of Ceremony for today's event. We have gathered today for the 40th Convocation Ceremony of IRMA in the virtual mode. We are honored to have as our chief guest Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, Food Processing Industries, Government of India. Welcome, sir. We are also honored to have as our guest of honor Dr. G. R. Chintala, Chairman, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. Welcome, sir. I now invite Dr. R. S. Sodhi, Member, Board of Governors, IRMA, to the dais.
Good morning. Honorable Adarniya Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji and Adarniya Dr. G. R. Chintala ji. It's my pleasure to introduce you now our respected board members of IRMA. Let me start with our chairman Shri Dilip Rath ji, who is not here because for his personal reason he has to travel abroad. Shri Arun Raste ji, Shri Nagendra Nath Sinha ji, Shri Vijay Nehra ji, Shri Amit Vyas ji, Shri Shiv Shankar ji, Shri Sangram R. Chaudhary ji, Shri Pankaj Chandra ji, Shri Devi Singh ji, Shri K.C. Suprekar ji, Shri Srinivasan B, Miss Meenu Vadera, and Professor Shambhu Prasad, Professor Satyendra Pandey ji, and our Dr. Umakant Das. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Umakant Das, Director, IRMA, to the dais.
Honorable Chief Guest Sri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Honorable Guest of Honor Dr. Chintala ji, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our faculty members, Professor Ashish Argade, Professor Avinav Kumar Rajvarma, Professor Anand Venkatesh, Professor Asmita H. Vyas, Professor C. Shambhu Prasad, Professor Paresh Bhatt, Professor H. S. Sailendra, Professor Hare Krishna Mishra, Professor Hipu Salk Kisal Nadan, Professor Indranil De, Professor Jimut Bahan Chakravarti, Professor Kusal A. Anjaria, Professor Madhavi Mehta, Professor Nakul Parameswar, Professor P.K.V. Kisan, Professor Pramod Kumar Singh, Professor Prasant Prem Kumar Nair, Professor Pratik Modi, Professor Preeti Priya, Professor Rajiv A, Professor Rakesh Arvatia, Professor Ruchi Mishra, Professor Saswat Narayan Biswas, Professor Satyendra Pandey, Professor Syam Singh, Professor Sudhir Kumar Shinna, Professor Susant Kumar Sarma, Professor Subhakant Mahanti, Professor Uday Sankar Sa, Professor Vivek Pandey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. R.S. Sodhi to the dais.
I now declare the 40th convocation open.
सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मना सिजानता सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मना सिजानता देवाभागं यथा पूर्वे सञ्जानाना उपासते देवाभागं यथा पूर्वे सञ्जानाना उपासते समानो मन्त्र समीति समानी समानो मन्त्र समीति समानी समानं मन सहचित मेषाम् सम्मानं मन्त्रं मन्त्रयेव समानेन वो हविषा जुहोमि सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मना सिजानता देवाभागं यथा पूर्वे सञ्जानाना उपासते समानीव आकृति समाना हृदयानिव समानमस्तु वो मनो यथा सुसहासते ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
I now invite Dr. Umakant Das, Director, IRMA, to address the gathering.
Honorable Chief Guest Sri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Honorable Guest of Honor Dr. Chintala ji, respected Chairman Sri Dilip Rath ji, members of IRMA's Board of Governors, distinguished guests, this year's graduating batch, members of the press, faculty members and staff colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of the Institute of Rural Management, Anand, to all of you on the occasion of 40th convocation. My heartiest congratulations to you all. Today's convocation ceremony holds pride of place for IRMA. My heart fills with joy acknowledging, albeit virtually, 40th graduating batch comprising of highly motivated and talented young participants awaiting their degrees to be bestowed. This day is about you and the accomplishment you have made as a result of your diligence and determination. Ever since its inception in 1979, IRMA has been associated with quality education in rural management and development. This pioneering institute came up in the response to the rural subtext deficit in general management education. Built brick by the Dr. Varghese Kurian, IRMA stands tall, sending managers and leaders into the rural space with a deep understanding of its inspiration, culture and beliefs. It has stayed committed to its objective of creating a new breed of managers with the appropriate ethos and values over the 4 decades since its inception. IRMA's graduates have made substantial contribution living up to the Institute mission of promoting sustainable, ecologically friendly and equitable socio-economic development of rural people. IRMA established a new discipline known as rural management, which combines knowledge of the rural environment with the modern management techniques. This was achieved with the institution of the flagship postgraduate diploma in management, rural management, or the PGDM-RM. This curriculum of the program is structured in a way that what is taught in the classroom is applicable in real life. The classroom segments and the fieldwork segments are replete with references to the Institute mission statement. That is how the village field segment provides participants with true understanding of rural realities. The 6 carefully structured classroom segments give a wholesome view of the entire discipline while maintaining a rigor rarely seen. The academic standards at IRMA are high, and it is a great achievement to consistently perform well across courses. It thus fills me with happiness and great pride to announce the winner of the Professor Siladitya Roy Memorial Award for Excellence in Financial Management and the Professor Monarch Bagh Memorial Award for Excellence in the course Production and Operation Management for the graduating PGDM-RM 40 batch. I congratulate Srihari V for winning both the awards this year. This year's PGDM-RM admission reflect a widespread representation from across India with aspirants coming from 26 states and 4 union territories. The application pool showcased this year a representation of 31% women candidates. Over 24% of applications were received from applicants with an engineering background, and close to 30% of applications came from agriculture, dairy and allied backgrounds. Disciplines such as commerce, arts, science and medicine were equitably represented across the application pool. For participants wishing to pursue academic research or a career in teaching, we have in place a fellow program in management, rural management, formerly known as FPM-RM. IRMA signed an MOU with the Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar in January 2021, whereby SPU agreed to recognize IRMA's FPM-RM as equivalent to SPU's PhD in management. We have also made a submission before the Association of Indian Universities for granting a 4-year equivalence of our fellow program in management with a PhD of Indian universities. This year, we received application for admission to FPM-RM from 18 states with 36% women applicants. The Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management Executive or PGDM-RMX was introduced by IRMA in 2019. It is intended for executives with at least 5 years of experience. The graduating PGDM-RMX participants constitute the second batch with 33 participants, 21 of whom have been sponsored by the National Dairy Development Board. That it has been an exceptionally difficult year is an understatement. Like elsewhere, the raging pandemic placed an enormous strain on our resources. I am particularly proud of the way IRMA's faculty, staff, and participants stood up to the challenges. Our faculty members rose to the challenge of shifting to the online mode of teaching, learning, and flawlessly delivered their courses. A rapidly changing job scenario threw further challenges our way, even as IRMA lived up to its 100% placement record for its PGDM RM participants. For this, the placement chair, the placement office, and the student placement cell needs to be commended. Nearly 105 organizations confirmed their participation in the placement process, with 55 of them actually recruiting with more than 330 offers. 27 of the 215 participants in the batch received pre-placement offers as a result of their internship and live project work. As far as PGDM RMX participants are concerned, we are pleased to report that majority of self-sponsored participants have been placed in cooperatives and organizations involved in microfinance and agribusiness. With newly acquired management skills, the sponsored participants will be taking on greater responsibilities when they return to their organizations. The work put in by our faculty is also reflected in the various projects undertaken by them. I am happy to say that in spite of the pandemic, we concluded 8 major projects successfully with 16 in various stages of completion. Some of the major projects were with the NHPC Limited and the Ministry of Rural Development. Besides academics, the actualization of capacity building skills has been the mainstay of IRMA's much sought Management Development Program, or MDPs. Our MDPs have benefited executives and managers alike in enterprises that include cooperatives, not-for-profit organizations, and government and semi-government organizations engaged in rural development through both open and custom-designed and short and long-term MDPs. Like the classes, our on-campus MDPs were held online this year to great success. Friends, it is a time of the year once again when we have to contend with the bittersweet experience of seeing yet another batch of participants go out into the world, holding and keeping IRMA's flag running high above the ground. We are fortunate that some of the most profound words of wisdom will be bestowed upon young minds by 2 distinguished luminaries. I feel privileged to have as our chief guest Sri Narendra Singh Tomar Ji, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Rural Development, Panchayat Raj and Food Processing Industries, Government of India. We are also honored to have as our guest of honor Dr. G.R. Chintala, Chairman, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. With their blessings, we will move ahead with the virtual convocation ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Indranil De, Program Chair for the Fellowship Program in Management, Rural Management, to the dais to announce the name of the scholar.
On the recommendation of Academic Council and approval of IRMA Board of Governors, one participant of Fellowship Program in Management, Rural Management is to be conferred the title Fellow in Management, Rural Management. The name of the candidate is Mr. Govind Gopi Verma.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Madhvi Mehta, Program Chair for the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management Executive, to the dais to announce the names of the graduating participants.
On the recommendation of the Academic Council and approval of the IRMA Board of Governors, admit the following participants to the 40th Annual Convocation and award them the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management Executive. अमन राकेश कुमार वर्मा, अमित कुमार, अरविंद कुमार, अशोक कुमार गोविंद भाई चौधरी, डाकोले चंद्रशेखर केशव, दर्श कीर्तिश वोरा, दीपक कुमार पात्रा, राहुल कुमार अर्जन भाई डोडिया, जिग्नेश कुमार नरसिंह भाई पटेल, कमलेश प्रसाद, कौशल कुमार रावजी भाई परमार, कौशिक प्रसाद पी, कृष्णाक राजेंद्र कुमार देसाई, मेहुल सिंह जीवन भाई सिंधा, निकिता भार्गव, प्रकाश टी, राजीव श्रीवास्तव, रणमल मसरी आंबलिया, रवि रंजन, रविंद्र गुरचरण सिंह रामदासिया, रीमा कीर्ति कुमार ठक्कर, रितेश कुमार चौधरी, रिपुल जैन, रुद्र प्रसाद बेटोबियल, सचिन बेदी, सागर किरीट भाई परमार, समीर कुमार भोगीलाल पटेल, सरोजानंद उपाध्याय, शंकर शर्मा, तुंगैया साल्यान आरंबोड़ी, विनय गुप्ता, रावत विनोद उमेद सिंह।
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Professor Prateek Modi, Program Chair for the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management, to the dais to announce the names of the graduating participants.
On the recommendation of the Academic Council and approval of the IRMA Board of Governors, admit the following participants to the 40th Annual Convocation and award them the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management. Abhinav Nain, Abhinav Singh, Abhishek Ranjan, Aditya Balia, Akhil Hari, अमलान घोष, अनिमेश दास, अंकुश घोड़ेश्वर, आर्द्र प्रकाश, अश्वत्थी, अतुल कुमार साहू, भव्य देसाई, विजेश कैमल, धनंजय कुमार, हेमांग चौहान, कट्टा इंदु गायत्री चौधरी, खुशबू शर्मा, कोमलप्रीत कौर, लवीना कंजानी, महेंद्र एच, मनशप्रिया पी, KSD मनोजा, मोहित कुमार, मोहित पंडित, मोहनीश, मुत्थुमणि रत्नम, नागेश, नायक निवेदिता जतिन भावना, उमा महेश्वरी, पंकज छिमवाल, पार्वती जी, शंखे पूनम दीपक शोभा, प्रज्ञान राय, प्रखर आनंद, राजा पी, राशि शाह, रश्मि गुप्ता, ऋषिचंद सिंह बेदी, शशांक राकेश, शिवम कपिल, सृष्टि श्याम कुंवर, सुदीप्तो राज, सुमन, सुनील कुमार, सूर्य भारती, तमिनेनी रजिता, तृप्ति नंदवाना, तुहीन मोहंता, वनीला मेहता, वेदिका अभय नाफडे, वेल्लूरू प्रसन्न कुमार रेड्डी, विजय एस, मेवासी यश, यश डामोर, योगेश पराशर, मेहता अदिति, आदित्य साहू, अजय गुप्ता, अमन जैन, अंकिता, अपूर्व कुमार, अरुण कुमार, अरुणाभ सान्याल, के चैतन्य कुमार, धीरज शारदा, दीक्षा जैन, दिव्यांश मेहंदीरत्ता, इला बिष्ट, एलिजाबेथ जैकब, इजबू बेनीवाल, गौरव मडवाल, गोहेल हर्ष परेश कुमार, पदम हिमा बिंदु, हिमांकी शलुजा, हिमांशु यादव, हुनैस हैदर ख्वाजा, पांडे इशिरा मोनिका, जे.एस. रोहित चंद्रा, कनुप्रिया शिवपुरी, कुशल भागीनाथ गायकवाड़, लव कौशिक, मधुलिना हल्दर, मानवी सिंह, व्यास मासूम घनश्याम, चौहान मेहुल कीर्ति कुमार, नरेंद्र एस पी, नावेद आलम, निंगशिंग अवुंगशी शिपो, निवेदा राजरथिनम, पलविंदर सिंह, पोंगुटी वेंकट भास्कर, सुने प्रतीक्षा अरुण राव कांता, प्रियंका साहू, राहुल अग्रवाल, राहुल सरन, रोहित वर्मा, सरोज कुमार, नामपल्लीवर, शशांक दिगंबर माया, सिद्धार्थ हरीश, सिमरन सिम्मी, सा स्मिथ मुकेश कुमार, सौम्या साहनी, कड़िया सृष्टि विनुभाई, सूरज गोहेल, सुरुचि अग्रवाल, वीना प्रिया लक्ष्मी वी, विशाल, जोहेब मंजूर, शर्मा आश्रया तरुण, अभिलाषा मित्तल, अमरेश यादव, अंकन दत्ता, अनुराग चतुर्वेदी, अरिजीत कुमार पात्रा, अरसल अख्तर खान, आयुषी अनिल अग्रवाल, लेउआ भूमीश दिनेश, भूपेश कुमार अहिरवार, चैतन्य शोभा, देश पांडे निकिता उदय, देवेश कुमार अहिरवार, पटेल दिलव कुमार भरत भाई, शेवटकर गणेश अशोक, गरिमा गुलाटी, तुल्ली मिल्ली इंदुप्रिया, जिब्रान शादीक सिमी शेख, मनी मित्तल, मेरैया वैभव हीरालाल, मोदी हर्ष कमलेश, मोहित सिंह, नंदू कृष्णन यू, श्रीमाली निलय कनुभाई, नितेश कुमार, नितिन चंडोक, पल्लवी गुप्ता, पंकज बेनीवाल, पवन कुमार के आर, प्रणीत गर्ग, प्रत्याशा प्रधान, रजत रोशन, मकवाना रोहन कुमार गंगाराम भाई, गढ़वी ऋषभ राजेंद्र कुमार, साखी चौबे, साक्षी सुमन, देवकर साक्षी संतोष, सौरव चावला, शरद राज उत्सव, शिप्रा पांडा, श्री श्रेयस जी, मित्तल श्रुति राजेंद्र, सोहिनी बोस, सौदीप खान, श्रीधर वी, तविशी गुप्ता, तुषार, उत्सव कपूर, वैभवी गड़गे, Vanga Monica, Vipin Yadav, Yunus Wakar,
आयुष जादू,
फुटाणे अजिंक्य अभय, तायडे अजिंक्य विजय, आकांक्षा श्रीवास्तव, अमित, अनामिका, सुलाखे अशीमा अमोल, आस्था महेश्वरी, आयुषी कालरा, देसाई भावीन जगदीश चंद्र, चित्रा यादव, मिस्त्री दर्शन सुरेश चंद्र पद्म, दीपाली राजेंद्र गुप्ता, ध्रुव कुमार, दिशांत यादव, गौरव, हर्षवर्धन भूपेंद्र कुमार राय, जिशान आदिल, कनुप्रिया मित्तल, कशिका मल्होत्रा, मनीष कुमार शाह, मनोहर सिंह राजपूत, मीनल अग्रवाल, परिवाल मोहनीश जगदीश, मोपड़ा वेंकट जया रवि चंद्रा, नायर नेहा हरिदासन, पार्थ मेहुल मकवाना, प्रकाश चंद्र वर्मा, प्रशांत जांगीर, प्रशांत कुमार, प्रवीण कुंतोजी, जादव प्रवीण अंकुश, राधिका खेरिया, राघवेंद्र सिंह, राहुल डाबर, राहुल धायल, रमनदीप कौर, रिद्धि चक्रवर्ती, रिंशाद के ए, रोजी बरुआ, सतीश कुमार,
सावडे सौरभ जीवन,
सिमरन, श्रीहरि वी, उके सुमेध राजेंद्र, तरणप्रीत सिंह, टीना बंसल, तुषार दोषी, उत्कर्ष पांडे, पंड्या उत्सव दिलीप, वानी शर्मा, वंशिका, भास्कर बी वी, अभिषेक सिंह, हेमंत सिंह कोशियारी।
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Umakant Das, Director, IRMA, to the dais.
It is my pleasure to announce the winner of the Kuchibotla Vasanti Gold Medal for the 40th batch of the Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Rural Management. The Kuchibotla Basanti Foundation was started in the memory of an IRMA graduate, late Kuchibotla Basanti, who immediately after the completion of the program in April 1997 joined Gram Vikas, a non-governmental organization in Odisha. She passed away in an unfortunate accident in 1997. Her parents, family members, well-wishers and friends started a foundation in her name to realize her dreams and goals. The foundation decided to award a degree, gold medal, to the topper of the graduating batch of the 2-year program, postgraduate diploma in management, rural management. This year awardee is Love Kausik. Now I invite Dr. R.S. Sodhi to address the gathering.
नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग। आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर, डॉक्टर जी.आर. चिंताला जी, member of Board of Governors of IRMA, Director IRMA Dr. Umakar Das ji, faculty and the staff members, graduating students and also their proud parents, and ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great honor and my privilege to address the graduating batch on behalf of Chairman and Board of Governors on the occasion of 40th convocation of IRMA. Today is a momentous occasion in the history of IRMA, for on this day 41 years ago, this August Institute gave birth to a new breed of rural managers. I am fortunate to belong to that group. Even as it took baby steps, IRMA was unflinching in its determination to professionalize rural management and development in a way that no other institution had ever done before. When IRMA was conceived and created 4 decades ago, there were several apprehensions regarding the need for a separate educational institution specializing in rural management. But today we can state with immense pride that IRMA has successfully fulfilled the goals that it was created for. Institutions are widely considered to be synonymous with the individuals who create them. When I joined first batch of IRMA in 1980, I did so only because of the brand image and the reputation of Dr. Varghese Kurian, IRMA's founding father. At that time, this beautiful IRMA campus was not there. We started our classes and administrative office in diagnostic laboratory of NDDB, and students were housed in a farmer's hostel. It was more a dormitory. The legendary Dr. Kurian was indeed a great nation builder who also created much before IRMA amazing institutions such as Amul, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, National Dairy Development Board, and several others, all of who went to become truly remarkable centers of excellence. Today both GCMMF and NDDB are leading institutions in their respective fields. GCMMF or Amul is India's #1 FMCG or food company, and NDDB is India's #1 development institutions. Dr. Kurian, more popularly known as the milkman of the India, is rightly credited with the triggering a socio-economic revolution that had positive transformational impact on the lives of millions of our fellow citizens living in rural India. Dr. Kurian's goal was to empower more than 70% of underprivileged population that only contributes 17% to the growth story of India. He realized that professional management of grassroots organization would not only improve the country's economy but also the state of rural livelihoods. Institutions that he created have made a significant mark in the lives of millions of farmers. The idea of an institute that specialized in rural management germinated during the second phase of Operation Flood, which is also called the White Revolution, when realization dawned that the movement would succeed best if backed by a cadre of trained managers. Being a member of Board of Governors of IIM Ahmedabad, Dr. Kurian that time offered to the Board of IIM Ahmedabad to fund a separate course to train cooperative managers. But the well-known educationist Shri Ravi Mathai, who was the founder director of IIM Ahmedabad, advised him against it. Both he and Mrs. Kamla Chaudhary, the other famous educationist, persuaded him to build an autonomous institution with a distinct culture and values of its own. In fact, it was my privilege to have both Shri Ravi Mathai and Mrs. Kamla Chaudhary as my teachers at IRMA about 41 years back, as well as Dr. Michael Halls, who created the blueprint of Operation Flood along with Dr. Varghese Kurian. Undoubtedly, IRMA was the right idea at the right time, coming from the right man. A decision was taken to commence a one-year program, not 2 years like you had passed through, in rural management in 1980. Later on, it was converted to the 2 years program. I was fortunate to be a part of that pioneering batch 41 years ago. On this occasion, I can vividly remember the words of Dr. Kurian spoken during the first convocation. That was our convocation in my 1982. That was in Amul Dairy, where more than 50,000 farmers were present, and India's Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi was also there, and I was among the graduating batch. And he said, I still remember, to all the graduating batch that our first duty is to India or Bharat. Our second duty is to the farmers for whom this institution has been created, and especially to the poorest of rural society. Our third duty is to our institution, and our last duty always is to ourselves. While building an educational institution was a new experience for him, its founder had a definite vision for it. The vision was for an institution that will produce graduates who would think big, dream big, and later act big, but on behalf of very small farmers of rural India. Dr. Kurian had created IRMA so that thousands of Kurian would emerge and take India to great heights, building on the foundation that he had laid. IRMans proudly carry forward his legacy and the flame that he had lit. If our younger generation imbibes his values of integrity, efficiency, honesty, courage, and excellence, then India will be a much better place to live in. IRMA succeeded in its mission because within IRMA's DNA are imprinted the twin values given by our founders. And what were these? Commitment to excellence and empathy for the underprivileged, a very rare combination in today's world. While speaking on excellence, I can give you one example of this dais. When I was sitting here, I saw the diploma document which is being given to you. It was designed and produced 41 years back. Same folder, same font, same paper. So one can see the excellence which was taught 41 years holds true today also. IRMA is that unique platform where the most intelligent minds in this country, the best talent with zeal to serve rural India, come together to create positive, transformational impact in the lives of those who need them most. We IRMans have deliberately taken a different road, a path less traveled, a journey into largely uncharted terrain, a lifetime of commitment to higher purpose, placing larger societal good over our own self-respect or interest. I would like to conclude by saying that IRMA's long-term vision is to imbue professional management with relevant ethos and values in order to assist underserved communities, organizations and institutions in professionalizing their management through training and capacity building. IRMA will flourish because IRMA remains and will continue to remain relevant to India and Bharat to address the challenges that vast majority of our rural citizens face today and will continue to face in the future. In fact, relevance of IRMA and IRMans is felt even more today as our political leadership and policy makers are looking forward to empower rural India and to reduce disparity by providing them more marketing reforms. And I ask all you young graduates, torchbearers of the excellent legacy that IRMA stands for, to never let its flame die out. You are stepping out into this world in extremely challenging times as the entire human race is striving to overcome this COVID pandemic. I firmly believe that difficult times often bring out the best in people. Just remember that the strongest steel is forged by the hottest fire. The lessons that you have learned right at the beginning of your professional life will surely serve you well for your entire lifetime. Take this as opportunity to excel in life. Regardless of which functional area or organization or location you choose to work in, I request you to please ensure that your contribution adds in sharing the growing prosperity of India with Bharat. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Member, Board of Governors, IRMA, to the dais.
Now I invite our chief guest, Adarniya Shri Narendra Singh Ji Tomar Ji, to deliver the convocation address.
आज इरमा के 40वें दीक्षांत समारोह के अवसर पर हम सबके मध्य उपस्थित नाबार्ड के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर जी.आर. चितला जी, इरमा के अध्यक्ष आदरणीय दिलीप रथ जी और निदेशक श्री उमाकांत दास जी और उपस्थित सभी पदाधिकारीगण और विद्यार्थीगण, मुझे बहुत ही प्रसन्नता है कि इरमा का 40वां दीक्षांत समारोह संपन्न हो रहा है। कोविड की परिस्थितियों के कारण जिस प्रकार का स्वरूप हमेशा दीक्षांत समारोह का रहता है और उसमें जो आनंद की अनुभूति पूरे संस्थान परिवार को, विद्यार्थियों को होती है, उससे निश्चित रूप से हम सब लोग इस बार वंचित हो रहे हैं। लेकिन इस वर्चुअल कार्यक्रम में दीक्षांत समारोह के अवसर पर मैं संस्थान के सभी पदाधिकारी और विद्यार्थियों को अपनी ओर से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि इस संस्थान से प्रशिक्षित होकर जो विद्यार्थी निकल रहे हैं वह ग्रामीण विकास के क्षेत्र में नए नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित करने में जरूर सफल होंगे। जब इरमा का विषय आता है तो निश्चित रूप से कुरियन साहब को याद करना यह जरूरी होता है। मुझे ध्यान है कुरियन साहब की दूरदृष्टि, उनका प्रयत्न, किसान और गांव के प्रति उनका हितैषी भाव, उसी का परिणाम है कि आज श्वेत क्रांति के मामले में भारत अग्रणी भूमिका निभा रहा है। यह संस्थान भी उनकी यात्रा का साक्षी है। भारतवर्ष गांव में बसने वाला देश है। गांव की परंपरा, गांव की अर्थव्यवस्था कृषि पर निर्भर है। कृषि और उसके सहायक धंधे ये दिनों दिन फलीभूत हों, यह देश के स्वास्थ्य के लिए अनिवार्य है। और इसलिए आप सब ने यह अनुभव किया होगा कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 2014 के बाद लगातार गांव, गरीब और किसान की प्रगति के लिए सरकार में प्राथमिकता दी है। ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में चाहे अधोसंरचना विकास की दृष्टि से प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण सड़क योजना के थर्ड फेज, जिसमें 1,25,000 किलोमीटर सड़कें 2024 तक 80,000 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से बनाई जाए। प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के अंतर्गत हर गरीब को अपना घर मिल जाए, यह सुनिश्चित किया जा रहा है। ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में आजीविका की उपलब्धता हो, इसलिए देश भर में स्व सहायता समूहों का आंदोलन चल रहा है। देश में 63 लाख से अधिक स्व सहायता समूह हैं। इनमें 7 करोड़ बहनें लगभग जुड़ी हुई हैं और सरकार इस पर बल दे रही है कि स्व सहायता समूह लगातार मजबूत होते रहें, जिससे गांव के लोगों को गांव में ही आजीविका की उपलब्धता होती रहे। ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत करना, अर्थव्यवस्था को नए आयाम प्रदान करना यह समय की मांग है। हम सब जानते हैं ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में चुनी हुई पंचायतें हैं, सरकार चुनी हुई पंचायतों को भी राशि देती है। ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में अधिकाधिक विकास का काम चल रहा है। कृषि की अर्थव्यवस्था को बल देने के लिए अनेक प्रकार की योजनाएं शुरू किए। प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि जैसी योजनाएं शुरू की गई हैं, किसान पेंशन शुरू की गई है और लोगों को रोजगार प्राप्त हो, इस दृष्टि से मनरेगा एक बड़ा महत्वाकांक्षी कार्यक्रम है। कोविड के संकट में मनरेगा के माध्यम से गत वर्ष 1,11,500 करोड़ रुपए का बजट प्रावधान था, जिससे लोगों को रोजगार की उपलब्धता हो पाई। 50,000 करोड़ रुपए के लागत से गरीब कल्याण रोजगार अभियान चलाया गया। गांव में रहने वाले गरीब लोगों को मुफ्त में खाद्यान्न उपलब्ध हो, यह भी सुनिश्चित करने की योजना बनाई गई। लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि आज की ज़रूरत है कि गांव में रोजगार के अवसर सृजित हों और ये अवसर सृजित करने के लिए गांव अनेक आयामों से जुड़े इस कल्पना को साकार करने के लिए पढ़े लिखे प्रशिक्षित नौजवानों की बड़ी भूमिका है और मुझे प्रसन्नता है कि इस भूमिका का निर्वाह करने के लिए एक सक्षम मानव संसाधन यह इरमा के द्वारा निर्मित किया जा रहा है। आज ये तमाम सारे हमारे विद्यार्थी भाई और बहन शिक्षा पूरी करके मैदान में जाएंगे और ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में विकास को नया बल प्रदान करेंगे। आप सबका प्रयत्न, आप सबकी दृष्टि, आप सबकी क्षमताएं, आप सबका परिश्रम आने वाले कल में नए भारत के निर्माण में अभूतपूर्व योगदान देने में सफल होगा, ऐसा मैं इस अवसर पर सभी विद्यार्थियों को अपनी बहुत शुभकामनाएं अर्पित करता हूं और संस्थान के पदाधिकारियों को इस अवसर पर यह कहना चाहता हूं कि इस बार कार्यक्रम वर्चुअल जरूर हो रहा है, लेकिन भगवान करे कि अगले बार वर्चुअल न करना पड़े, तो पूरे उत्साह के साथ इस कार्यक्रम में मैं भी जरूर आना चाहूँगा और अगले वर्ष जब हम इस कार्यक्रम को करेंगे तो निश्चित रूप से हम सब एक दूसरे से मिल सकेंगे। मैं इस अवसर पर आप सबको हृदय से बहुत बहुत बधाई, धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for your address. Now I invite Dr. Chiar Chintala to address the gathering.
Honorable Union Minister Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Chairman and members of the Board of Governors of the Institute of Rural Management Anand IRMA, other distinguished guests present for the convocation, and my dear students, a very good morning to all of you. It is indeed an honor and a great privilege for me to be a part of this 40th annual convocation of the Institute of Rural Management Anand, which has emerged as an unique and remarkable institution of higher learning. I heartily congratulate the students who today will be moving out of the confines of the academia into the chosen professions and careers. Successful completing of this intensive course from a prestigious institution is certainly a matter of pride for the students and their families. I am certain all the students are well equipped to make use of their knowledge and training for the betterment of the people, particularly of those who are living in the remote areas of our country. I am immensely happy and proud that the students desire to work in the rural areas to help uplift the vulnerable strata of our society and thereby to empower them economically and otherwise. This year's convocation is even more special as it marks the birth centenary of the founder of the prestigious institution, Dr. Varghese Kurian. On the occasion of his birth centenary, let me pay my homage and respects to Dr. Varghese Kurian for the vast legacy that he so painstakingly built during his lifetime. the benefits of which will continue to be reaped by all of us and the subsequent generations for many decades to come. Dr. Kurian, the father of the White Revolution in our country, was the man behind AMUL. As an young engineer in the small town of Anand, he took on the challenge of professionally organizing and managing the Kaira cooperative in 1950. Dr. Kurian transformed the dairy farming sector by infusing it with professional management. He introduced modern technology and production systems, incorporated professional marketing, created a robust integrated supply chain, and built an entire ecosystem of organizations with a vision of sustainable growth. Evolving from a trickle to a mighty flood, AMUL's cooperative movement created livelihood for more than 15 million farmers pan-India. Through the Operation Flood concept, he established a national milk grid consisting of nearly 1 lakh cooperatives. The Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation and the National Dairy Development Board, famously called NDDB, are some of the other gifts of Dr. Kurian to the millions of milk producers in our country. He made AMUL a household name and made this brand synonymous with a good quality milk. However, his impact on shaping the rural landscape of the country went far beyond. He was a person who envisioned the strength and capabilities of the common rural folk, the farmer and the artisans. It was his ability to see the strength in cooperation and power of the cooperatives which made him the pioneer that he was. Let me delve upon the importance of academic institutions like IRMA. However, I can say that what made Dr. Kurian immortal was the chain of institutions he helped to build. IRMA is one such institution. That was his brainchild and occupied a place of pride for him. Dr. Kurian recognized the virtues of professional management and realized that it brought about visible socio-economic impact to an underserved segment. This thought inspired him to establish the IRMA in the year 1979 with an aim to create a new generation of management professionals who would bring in modern management to serve the underserved economy. The Institute of Rural Management is indeed a pioneering institute in India in the field of rural management. The genesis of IRMA was in response to the need of professional managers, intelligent young men and women who are fired by a burning desire to transform rural India, equipped with adequate skills and knowledge of management education and combined with a development orientation. It is the synergy between the innate native talent and the earthy common sense of the farmers and the artisans on the one hand, and the professional expertise of people educated as well as trained here like you on the other, which can deliver the best results. That I understand is the rationale and the spirit behind the establishment of this great institute. The students passing out of this institute are special as they span the intersection of management, development, social sciences, the rural sector, the cooperative sector, and the corporate sector. I am sure that you will help the country in fulfilling the vision of the institute to promote sustainable, ecologically friendly, and equitable socio-economic development of rural people through the professional management. Rural India, how good is it? And throwing the opportunities and challenges. I have chosen to speak today on a subject that is very close to my heart. Rural India, land of opportunities and challenges. As I want to impress upon all the bright future managers of rural India who are present here today of the untapped opportunities as well as the complex challenges that await them. Let me give an overview of the rural India. Over the last 20 years, India has been among the fastest growing large economies of the world. The country is primarily a rural economy with 68% of its population residing in rural areas. While India is paving way for rapid urbanization, rural India to date remains the prime contributor of India's gross domestic product growth, with a contribution of 46% to the national income. With the majority of the country's population living in rural areas, the growth, income, and consumption patterns of rural India hold the key to boost the demand, revive the economy, and sustain economic growth. The rural economy of India has continuously been supporting and contributing to the overall Indian economy. The Indian economy is dominated by the agricultural sector, evidenced by the fact that approximately 60% of India's population is involved in agriculture and allied sectors. Recently, India has seen a gradual occupational shift in the rural regions from farm to non-farm employment, and rural India has seen an increase in the non-agricultural income. This is primarily attributed to below par agricultural yields for many years, seasonal unemployment, lack of modern agricultural practices, and increased awareness and education amongst the rural youth. However, it is forecasted that by 2050, India will continue to be prominent rural economy with approximately half of its population still residing in rural areas. The last 1.5 years have been the toughest time the world has ever seen, and India is not untouched by the brunt of this pandemic. The global economy contracted like never before as COVID-19 pandemic took its toll. 3.5 to 4.3% in 2020 according to the IMF and the World Bank. India is no exception. As the real GDP growth rate fell to a record low as the economic activity contracted unprecedentedly. The second advanced estimates project the contraction of GDP to 8% in 2021. The prospects for 21-22 fiscal are placed higher at 11%, though the growing number of cases in the second wave of infections may moderate the expectations. However, amidst this pandemic, India's rural economy has shown unprecedented resilience. I just want to put in inverted commas, unprecedented resilience, emerging as a silver lining. In this period, Government of India recorded the highest number of jobs provided under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, famously called MGNREGA. Despite the challenges, dairy cooperatives boosted the procurement and converted the excess milk into value-added dairy products. The economic recovery package under the PM Garib Kalyan Yojana has contributed significantly to the stability of rural economy. Based on initial indicators, the economic trends imply that consumption patterns in India will be spearheading India's rural economic recovery. Now let me turn to the changing landscape of the agricultural sector. The agricultural sector forms the backbone of the Indian economy, contributing to 16% of India's GDP, while employing more than 40% of India's total workforce. The agricultural sector witnessed a decline in its share in GDP and the GVA, that is the gross value added, from 18.2% to 16.5% in the last 5 years, primarily due to the accelerated growth of non-agricultural sectors. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the agricultural sector was the only sector that recorded the growth of 3%, while all other sectors contracted or had gone into the negative territory. This was owing to the excellent monsoon season in the FY 2021, abundant water in irrigation reservoirs, larger sown area coverage for Kharif as well as Rabi crop, and effective implementation of MGNREGA along with other government welfare interventions. Subsequently, the rural unemployment rate has contracted faster than the urban unemployment rate due to government schemes such as NREGA. Similarly, the rural inflation rate was also lower because the government provided food grains at no cost under PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, leaving the rural population with a higher disposable income in their hands. Today, The Indian agricultural landscape is evolving at a rapid pace. From an era where food security was the only concern, we have migrated to a time where agriculture must be seen as a business and a sector where we must integrate with the global supply chains. As we take a step towards our goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, we have to ensure that we have an Atmanirbhar Kisan at the center of this vision. Again, I repeat, we have to ensure that we have an Atmanirbhar Kisan at the center of this vision. Indian agriculture is still plagued with age-old issues of high input costs, large post-harvest losses, poor storage and marketing infrastructure, dependence on monsoons, and finally the volatility of the prices. However, the opportunities have also emerged in the agricultural sector of late. There is an increasing push by the government to transform farmers into agripreneurs. New approaches to input cost minimization and output collectivization are being adopted through formation of farmer producers organizations, famously called FPOs. Issues of access of credit and resources to tenant and landless farmers is being tackled through formation of joint liability groups called JLGs. The past few years have also seen a large number of agri startups emerge, which are emerging, bringing the latest technological solutions to the farmers' fields. The recent government announcement of 1 lakh crore investment in agriculture through Agri Infrastructure Fund will also go a long way in resolving the supply chain bottlenecks. However, for all these measures to be successful, we require a pool of professional managers, and it is here the young, bright minds from institutions like IRMA have to emerge and fill in these gaps with their vibrant thinking and professionalism. How the consumption patterns are changing in the rural India, let us look into it. The markets in India, rural region are increasingly booming, becoming powerful economic drivers and are undergoing rapid change. As the mobile technology penetrates through the rural India at an ever increasing pace, we are witnessing a demonstration effect in play. Rural masses are increasingly adopting products and trying to replicate lifestyles of their urban counterparts. Today, the demand for consumer durable products from rural India has seen a rapid increase. Initiatives undertaken by the government have directly or indirectly promoted the rural demand for consumer durable products. The sector saw an increase in demand for the products such as refrigerators and consumer electronics as a first-time purchase owing to the government investment in rural electrification. Similarly, schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, called PMAY, it's called Gramin, aimed at providing housing for the rural population, has resulted in more nuclear rural families with a demand for entry-level product type across segments. Under its Make in India program, the Government of India is also incentivizing local companies to manufacture consumer durable products locally, which have increased employability and disposable income in rural regions and increased non-food expenditure. This buying propensity is backed by reduced price tags for consumer durables, as companies are now manufacturing and sourcing locally. This also opened an enormous untapped and unexplored market potential for consumer durables. Many policymakers and businesses are excited by the exponential growth prospects presented by these markets. Easy access to finance for the rural population has made their buying decisions inelastic to income levels. Increased penetration of internet and smartphones, along with growing traction of online lending platforms, buy now, pay later schemes, and easy monthly installment schemes introduced by financial institutions, have all contributed to demand in the consumer durable sector. Companies that seek to become high-performing businesses cannot ignore the potential of India's rural markets. There is a promising data that suggests that the rural markets are predominantly driven by the increasing purchasing power of the consumer, which is a key driver for growth across a variety of sectors. The large corporates are also adapting their products to meet the demand and aspirations of rural India. This phenomenon, termed as the sachet revolution or sachet revolution, where popular urban products are being made in smaller sizes to suit the budgets of rural population. It is therefore imperative that all enterprises that come up in the rural areas have to keep these evolving consumer patterns in mind while ensuring their products meet the standards of the larger corporates. I just want to tell you really how the banking sector is fueling this growth. Access to financial markets, which translates to financial inclusion, is important to rural India. Similarly, access to credit and banking facilities helps increase consumer consumption, offers new business opportunities, and improves prospects for economic growth. The way rural India accesses credit and is creating finance to meet its growing aspirations is also undergoing a revolutionary change. In the early 90s, India recognized that a large rural population was still dependent on informal credit sources, and hence self-help groups and microfinance institutions were encouraged then. Non-banking financial companies and also the MFIs continues to lead financing in rural areas. India has become one of the leading markets in the global microfinance industry with one of the highest number of borrowers, close to 3.5 million, growing at a rate which is much higher than any other country. Recently, India introduced a program for financing rural poor with some other kind of an instruments, and the self-help groups is one such kind of a thing. In self-help group, bank linkage program enables provision of bank loans to poor strata without any collaterals. The program has become the world's fastest growing microfinance platform. Recently, through the eShakti platform, NABARD is trying to ensure that all SHG records are digitized and transparent system for access to credit is provided to the SHGs. There are also examples from the private sector to demonstrate the potential for creating banking intermediaries or micro distributors of products. These examples need to be replicated to improve distribution channels in rural areas. In 2014, however, PMJDY, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, was launched under the National Mission for Financial Inclusion, which aimed at opening a bank account for each household in the country. PMJDY, Aadhaar and extensive mobile use called the JAM Trinity together have and can further reshape the rural banking systems and offer opportunities for industry to invest in. The large-scale use of mobile phones eases the problem of access and a lack of infrastructure redundant. Technology also can be used to improve the assessment of creditworthiness for households and informal businesses. Due to initiatives around cashless economy, there has been a surge in cashless transaction in rural areas as well. This presents private players which were till now serving the urban population only with an opportunity to expand its customer base into rural markets. Despite the rapid progress in access to the financial services to the rural, a lot of challenges still persist. Financial literacy among a large section of the rural sector continues to be poor. While most people now have a bank account, there is a long way to go in terms of other financial products like credit, insurance, pension, etc. There is also a need for adopting technological solutions to the challenges of poor infrastructure and low market penetration. Fintech in rural markets is needed to enable large-scale adoption of MFI in the banking sector. There is a need to introduce fintech products in a regulatory environment. Many countries, including India, have proposed a sandbox framework in 2019 to provide fintech companies and financial institutions opportunities to test innovative solutions. Additionally, technology-backed solutions and platforms can go a long way in sustainably improving our last mile connectivity. These platforms can also be used to improve the financial literacy of rural populace. Low-cost banking services with seamless technology inclusion is the need of our in rural markets. which private sector can fulfill. This increase in financial inclusion can help a private business develop highly scalable models for customer acquisition and cross-selling. There is also an urgent need for curating specialized banking products for rural India. These financial inclusion products should not be just about setting up a bank branch and giving loans. It should involve curating specific financial offerings depending on different factors such as income levels, geographical conditions, health and market risk, etc. Financial institutions should engage in local markets as partners, develop a social network with local participants to use word of mouth advocacy and build partnerships with NGOs, MFIs and SHGs. This can help in provision of core banking services, but can also help in streamlining additional services such as BPOs, service centers, etc. At this juncture, I would like to emphasize the need to create sustainable livelihoods in rural India. I would like to highlight at the end that the future of rural India will largely depend upon our success in creating a resource pool of skilled, technologically competent entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs have to emerge from the large manpower that is currently getting disguised employment in the agriculture sector. Workers moving out of agriculture and those entering rural labor force are getting largely absorbed in construction activity. It is therefore imperative that we focus on shifting away this extra manpower away from the agriculture sector and provide them with necessary skills to ensure long-term self-sufficiency. Apart from agriculture, allied sectors like dairy, fisheries, poultry, piggery, etc. are going to play a bigger role in the future livelihoods in rural India. Besides the government efforts to promote skilling and entrepreneurship to rural youth, it is important for private sector to ensure that capacity building activities are in line with the needs of the industry. NABARD, for its part, has been providing skill and livelihood development through training through its livelihood and enterprise development program and also the micro enterprise development programs. Such programs need to be replicated and rapidly scaled up. In line with the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, entrepreneurship promotion and simultaneous capacity building activities offer an opportunity for industry to participate in the rural economy and cater to local markets through village level distributors and retailers. This may enable long-term self-sufficiency of the rural markets. It is also important to keep women at the center of this entrepreneurship revolution in rural India. Investing in women-led entrepreneurship channels and promoting financial inclusion for women will encourage women entrepreneurship and development of cottage industries and also their products. For private sector organization, this will serve as an opportunity that translates into greater access to production and distribution channels, including through SHGs. Schemes like MyPad, MyRight, launched by NABARD through its subsidiary NAB Foundation, has not only led to women empowerment but also created sustainable livelihood options for SHG women, and that is the way it should go forward. For the future managers of rural India, it will be both a challenge as well as an opportunity to lend their professional skills to these rural entrepreneurs and serve as a linkage between them and the large corporate borrowers. In the end, I wish to leave you all with these words of wisdom from the founding fathers of this institution, late Sri Kurian Sahib. India's place in the sun would come from the partnership between wisdom of its rural people and skill of its professionals. I once again thank IRMA, its board, and also others to just give me this opportunity to speak on this great day of this convocation. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Member, Board of Governors, IRMA, to the dais.
I now declare the 40th convocation closed.
Thank you, sir. We thank all the dignitaries for honoring us with their presence today. I now request all of you to rise and please join us for the national anthem.